Fans of the Horus Heresy and fans of Mutant Chronicles Warzone, thank you very much for joining me for a review of the capital Martian Banshee Linebreakers by Prodos Games. In my ongoing series of reviews looking at alternative sci-fi resin models, the latest thing I've come across is these guys. Now this is a bit of a blast from the past for me. Warzone was a sci-fi miniatures game from the mid to late 90s. Lots of very distinctive art. Kind of the IP's been owned by a few companies over the years. However, in the last couple of years, Prodos Games acquired the rights to it. Prodos Games have also made the Aliens versus Predator: The Hunt Begins game. So they've already kind of established a bit of a reputation there, producing a game based on a very famous IP in the case of the Aliens franchise. So pick these up at Salute 2017. You get 5 models. These are described as being at 32mm scale. They're resin miniatures. I like them just for the crazy scary look, and I bought these thinking, well, I can use them for something within a militia cults list, and perhaps they could be gene forged troops or survivors of a dark age of technology. Those are the sort of things I like to look at with these. And yeah, and the look of these has evolved from the original artwork, and they always had a sort of death mask on, but here they're positively rictus, and these are kind of like, they're human troops. I mean, Capitol is kind of like USA in space, but these guys have got these absolutely terrifying looking masks to scare their opponents. So a quick look around the box. These cost me at Salute, these are only £11 for 5 models, which in resin is an absolute bargain at £2.20 per model. Now, I checked on the website before I did this review, and on the website they were being sold at £13.99 for the same pack. So I don't know if they were doing some discounting at the show to sell them for £11, but well, let's open them up and see how they look. I mean, I guess if these are 32mm, they're about the size of Space Marines, and do a like-for-like comparison, well, Forge Walled Space Marines Armour Through the Ages is going to cost you, including weapons, is going to be about £37 for 5. So these are, whichever way you look at it, I mean, these are a third of what the Forge World equivalents cost, or at the £14 price, they're still less than half a cost. So let's open them up and see what they look like. I was very impressed. I've not seen these guys before. I think that I think I'm a bit late to the show, but in terms of the re-imaged Mutant Chronicles, but I was very impressed to see them, and it really reminded me of the old days. And they've added their own sort of, these are quite realistically proportioned to human scale, and they certainly use the same, it looks like they've used the same sort of artistic or sculpting talent as they did on the Aliens versus Predator range. But I really like the new image they brought to the Warzone art. So we get a nice little card box. These are always useful little boxes like this, and then if we open this up, we have our models, and we also have a card. So we get a unit card, and then we get a pack of miniatures. Right, we'll come back to the miniatures because that's the bulk of this review. Let's just have a look at the accessories first. So we get 5 bases. These are, well, these are 30mm, I believe. So I guess they're fine for playing 40k, given GW's laissez-faire's approach to base sizes. There's no base size rule. Right, so what do you get? So you get a Martian Banshees card. Oh yeah, gosh, look at all this. This all looks very familiar. It's changed a little bit from the original one, I remember, but yeah, no, pretty familiar all the same. So you get the unit stat, their weapons. So they've got, yeah, the bolter handguns, what these guys have got. The M50 assault rifle is what the standard Banshee carries. These like the close assault variant, and then they get a chain ripper sword and a Banshee blade. Active parry and bite. So that's a profile on the weapon stat, and then you get all sorts of stuff. So then you actually get the rules to play them as well. Death from above, active, passive, pure hatred. Oh yes, these don't like Mishima or the Dark Legion. Death Shriek, So it looks like they get some kind of like fear effect from their rictus masks. So that's nice. Nice to get the unit rules with it. The rules for this game, I believe, are downloadable as a PDF off Prodos' website. So you download that, you got your unit card, and you're away. Very nice, I like the approach. Right, so we've got the bases. Let's take a look at the actual miniatures. So to do this, we shall, actually, before we do that, I'm just going to show you a nice little bit of advertising material that Prodos has come up with on their website. Now, what they've basically done is made, all right, so I'm going to swing in the iPad. So this is on sketchfab.com, and this is linked from Prodos's product page. And basically you've got a 3D render of one of the Martian Banshee models. And using this little tool, you can kind of play around with it. It just allows you to look at the model, and it's a really nice little thing. And yeah, it's the sort of thing that if you're thinking of buying a model, well, what a great way of giving someone a chance to look at what they're going to buy by putting this sort of stuff. And you can translate the image like that. You can zoom out. Whoa, tiny little Banshee. So what a neat little bit of, given that they're, like most of the manufacturers these days, they're moving to computer CAD design. What a neat little thing to do to take that work you've already done and turn it into a tool that your customers can use to visualize the models that you're thinking of buying even better than just the photos. Now, I haven't got this for many models yet, so I don't know if it's something new they're doing, if they're doing it as a one-off, but it's stuff like this that is innovative and you want to see miniature providers doing to capitalize on the way they're making the models and better sell their products to customers. So yeah, really neat, love that. Back to the miniatures. Right, so we'll drop down, let's drop this down a bit so we can have a better look. So straight away, the resin material on these guys really reminds me of the Aliens versus Predator models. So we get five dudes, 5 sword arms and 5 pistol arms, if I get these sorted out right. So first quick check, all the parts are present. Right, let's have a look at some of these Banshees. Maybe just bring the camera up a touch. Yeah. Very nice looking. Excellent detail. Very nice detail. And again with these guys, you've got a more realistic style, realistically proportioned human miniatures. Very different to the current general approach by GW. Right, let's have a look at the quality on the moulding. I thought that was a mould slip, but that's an armour join. There's a little mould slip there. Yeah, a little mould slip there, but that's just at the bottom, so that'll be easy enough to clean up, I think. I think it's a mould slip. Yes, it is. But it's a small one. Oops. But yeah. Very nice and very, very fine detail. Sorry, I apologise. The light's not very good in here right now, so I apologise about any loss of focus. I mean, look at these fine arm panels, and looking at this, it's kind of, it makes you think about what we're just looking at, the 3D render. Yeah, very nice. So that's the first guy. Let's have a look at another one. Brilliant. I'm looking for faults in the mold, in even small imperfections in the casting, and no, I mean, I'm trying to find air bubbles, but there aren't any. Just looking. Is that a little slip there? No, that's part of this pouch. No. That's, yeah, I mean, there's a little slip on the first one, but he's perfect. Hardly any cleanup to do there at all, apart from a small amount of flash to do. Then moving on to guy number 3. Little slip, yeah, a couple of little slips there to sort out, between his legs there. Yeah, a bit more work to do on this guy, but nothing really dramatic. Yeah, just look at those skull faces, don't they look great? They certainly look terrifying troops. That's nice. Next guy. I mean, yeah, again, I've got a little bit of slippage to sort out between the legs, but not too bad, not easy enough to do there, I think. It's, I mean, I suppose the magnitude of the displacement isn't that great. And also when it's on fabric parts of the body, these are quite often easier to deal with. It's when you get them across hard armor corners and sharp surfaces, they can be harder. We've got A, so I'm guessing all the arms have been marked up. Got an arm here. There you go, you've got a little identifier on each arm as well. So there's, I guess the arms are supposed to be specific to certain models. I imagine though, as is often the case, you could convert for greater variety, and these are, as resin models, you could just use a little bit of heat to bend them. Given the arms are realistic human proportions, they're going to be very easy to repose and bend. Excellent stuff, very nice. Quick look at some of these weapon arms. So starting with the bolter pistols, I believe they're called. So all the suits have got these seams running down them. And that's a detail, it's not a slip, it's actually the seam. It's supposed to be the seam of the suit. Interesting, if you look on Prodos's website, they've got a section where they talk about the technology they use for resin casting, which is quite interesting. Telling a story as if they've got some advanced technique that's something beyond what the other companies have. I don't know if that's the case, but it's interesting. I mean, maybe it's something they have developed, as part of getting the necessary production quality to do the licensed production on the Aliens versus Predators. Because of course, if you're going to do licensed production, then I think you've got to fulfill certain criteria on brand quality with Fox, I believe, isn't it? 20th Century Fox. A little bit of a clean. There's a bit of a line to take off there. Again, it's not too bad if it's a small amount on the arm like that. The main thing is the pistols are perfectly formed. There's no mold lines across those. And the final arm. Quite nicely bored out pistol barrels as well, so you don't have to do that. And then finally we've got the chain ripper blades. So I guess you can't help but look at these and think world eaters. Yeah, looks good. Let's move through these a bit quicker. Make sure everything is lined up properly. Slightly crazy erratic teeth design, that's quite fun. Is that good? It's very encouraging to see the return of a franchise like Warzone. I always loved the artwork, and I think, was it Paul Bonner, I believe? Is it Paul Bonner or Kev Walker? I think it was Paul Bonner who did a lot of the art for Warzone, and I always really liked his style, and a lot of it was in colour, and it was very vivid, bright and stylish colour. It looked really good. It's good to see those ideas being brought back to life in this Warzone Revisited, what they call it, Warzone Resurrection. Excellent. So there you have it, an out of the pack review of the Capital Martian Banshees Linebreakers by Prodos Games. I hope you've enjoyed that. I will be putting these guys together, shouldn't take too long, and I'll be coming back to do a model review later. Thank you very much for watching. I'll speak to you next time, and goodbye.